Hey Machinies, how are you guys doing this week? I know we've kind of been out for a couple of weeks, but we're trying to get back on track. We appreciate you guys being patient with us as we're trying to figure out our lives. I'm Alex, and this is...
Hi, I'm Ellie.
We're glad to have you guys back this week. This past week was spring break for us.
Yep.
And I had a lot of fun. What did you do for spring break?
Over spring break was quite chaotic for me. I remember the first couple days being back home. I spent some time with my nephew. We went to like a dinosaur exploration place. It was pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
He's 2, so he understands it now. We went last year too. He didn't really quite understand, but he knows now. He had a lot of fun. I had a lot of appointments, dentist, doctor, eye doctor, got to get all that out of the way. And then just a week ago, it was my birthday.
Oh, so, happy belated birthday!
Thank you. I turned 20.
Woo!
One more year until I can drink legally. That's what everybody tells me when I tell them. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I hung out with a friend of mine. I hung out with family. I made them watch a movie that I like. So I had a lot of fun over break.
Oh, that's awesome.
What'd you do over break?
Oh, over break, what did I do? I read Demon Slayer, and I didn't bring my manga, but I will bring it next week, because I marked some really cool spots in it that I thought were really cool, that I didn't know about, because I'm trying to read the manga before I watch the whole series, just because I kind of want to see the difference in it, and I'm that person. I love to read books before I watch movies, because books just have way more information in them. But you've read both, you've done both. You've read the manga and watched the
I have.
Series. What would you say about that? Are they very similar, or is there stuff missing? Kind of, what's your take on it?
I think I really love both of them, and I would recommend 100% like watching and reading both the manga and the show. I watched the show before I read the manga.
Oh, okay.
So I think obviously in a lot of shows they have to make it longer. So they have to make scenes longer. So it feels more intense. Okay. But when you read it in the manga, it's so cool. Like when you read in a manga before you watch the show, it's so cool to see. And then waiting for it to be animated, it just, I don't know. Like it's just so fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm completely caught up with the show. The manga, I haven't read all of it, but I know what happens pretty much. Like I know how it ends. So like, yeah. I definitely recommend both. They're pretty similar. It's just obviously the show has to add a little bit more.
Okay.
But they pretty much keep the same stuff.
Oh, okay.
They follow the plot and everything. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Because sometimes it's like completely opposite, and you're like, what is this? Mm-hmm. Has nothing to do with what I just read. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I'll have to bring it in next week. So next week there will probably be a couple of spoilers if you haven't read the manga or watched the show. But I'm really excited about it, and I just want to share it with you guys because that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
I also got to go to the hockey game, the UND hockey game. I have a son, and he's 4, and his name is James, and we have a player named Dylan James. And so I ended up getting his jersey, and I was super excited. He came after the game, even though we didn't win, which was really hard on the boys, but it was awesome because they still came out and they signed stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
But Dylan got to sign my son's jersey, which was amazing, and I got a picture of them together, so...
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A little bit stressful trying to catch up on my schoolwork and trying to do all of that. Don't recommend doing it in 1 week. If you're going to school, just do your homework. Don't follow me. Even if your professors say there's no hard deadlines, pretend it's a hard deadline.
It's a hard deadline.
Yes.
Yeah. And even so, like, I have online classes, and sometimes it could feel weird getting stuff weekly. Like, you want to do your stuff as soon as you can. Like, you don't want to let that wait. Like, oh yeah, it's just an online class, it doesn't matter, I can turn it in. Like, don't have that mentality going into college.
No.
It's a bad mentality. Do your stuff.
Do it, because then it comes to, like, the last month, and you're like, oh shit, I have all this work I have to do from the whole semester.
Yeah.
And so I think that, one, if you're going to do an online class, don't do it your first semester. Don't do that, because you want to get into a good habit of, okay, well, let me stay in classes because there's going to be those hard deadlines. There's going to be things that I have to do weekly. Whereas when you're in an online class, sometimes it can get a little more lenient, but at the same time, you have more responsibility.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've been in college on and off for 10 years, so I'm like, this is my life. But I definitely recommend that don't wait and do everything in 1 week, because you're just going to stress yourself out, and then you're going to burn yourself out, and then you're not going to be able to do any of your other classes. I know that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with like anime and manga, but like I said,
It's a good life lesson. It's good to hear
Exactly.
from people who are experiencing it right now.
yes.
So, especially if you're in high school and you want to go to college, and I will say right now, high school in no way, shape, or form prepares you for college. No. Maybe a little bit of material, but learning and teaching styles are completely different.
Yep.
So just make sure you do your homework, show up to lectures, do not skip class. It's really easy to get into a habit, unless you are dying in your bed. That's a different story.
Right.
But do not skip class. It can turn into a habit. You're paying for those classes. It's important you show up, and it's
Yes.
it's a good impression on your professors. My professors have always liked me because I always show up to class.
Exactly.
So like,
and
show up.
communicate with them.
Yeah.
Like in high school, your parents did it for you, so you didn't have to do anything. Make sure that you get their email from the syllabus, keep it in there, because if you're gonna miss class, it's always good to let your professor know, because then they're like, oh, okay, you're actually making an effort to tell me what's going on,
Yeah.
instead of just not showing up. But yeah, I think that it's super important to talk to people that have been in college for a while or are just starting college, because I remember when I first got out of high school, I moved away from home, and so my family was here and I moved to Alabama. And then that's when my anime like really got intense, was when I was in college, because I was like, yes, I don't know anybody and I can be weird. And I was really excited about it. But it was also really hard to move away from home and not really, I mean, I had family around, but it wasn't the same.
right.
And so definitely took advantage of that, and it was okay until it wasn't. And then it really wasn't okay. And I mean, I'm not saying that everybody has to go to college. Not everybody needs to go to college. Not everybody wants to go to college. But if you're planning on going to college, know that high school, once you graduate, don't even think like that anymore. Because once it gets to college, everything is on you. You are now your primary caretaker of yourself, and have to advocate for yourself to your professors. If you need extra help, if you need extra time, make sure you communicate that. Because of the fact that if you don't, they're not going to know. And they're not going to babysit you, essentially, is the best way I can describe it. It's really fun to like go home and, like me, binge watch anime instead of doing my homework, because I'm like, I would way rather do this. But do your homework first, then binge watch whatever you're watching.
Yeah.
Me, it's Death Note still, because, oh, she's awesome.
So, on the topic of anime,
Yes. Here's your lecture for the week.
Alex did read a little bit of the Demon Slayer manga. So
Yes.
why don't you tell us about that?
So it was actually really interesting. The first one was really good, but it was also kind of that slow start where you're still learning everything, trying to understand. And then it just hit you in the second one. I was like, whoa, that you're meeting all these different characters. I'm trying to keep them straight. I'm like, oh, okay, that's this person, and like you're trying to watch it, like looking at the pictures and being like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
It's definitely a lot easier to follow with the show.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you do eventually watch the show, it'll be a little easier to understand.
Oh,
and the
okay.
colors are so good. You need
Yes.
to watch it.
I will. I'll have to do that. I'll have to watch at least the first couple of episodes so that I can be like, oh, that's what it looks like in color instead of black and white. I've also
You might have to Google like what episode follows what in the manga, so
Right.
you don't accidentally like spoil yourself. And it's
right,
like,
and you're like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I got to learn a couple things. I had marked it, but I forgot it.
Yeah, there was 10 different swordsman levels. I don't remember all of them. The only ones I remember are like Kinoto, and then I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's a low level. And then there's Hashira, which is the highest.
Yeah.
Which you will soon see the current Hashira.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think necessarily remembering the levels are super significant to the show.
But it was just cool to see that because I read it and I'm like,
it takes a long
I was thinking
time.
there were like 2 and there's like 10 and they list them and then because they had to do, so spoilers a little bit, they had to do their like where they were in the woods and like defeating the demons and everything. And when they finished, they were like, okay, now you're the lowest level, just so you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're like,
as long as you can face a demon and you can defeat a demon, you're at the lowest level of a demon slayer.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, you're gonna learn all of these types of things to make yourself more powerful so that you can raise up to the levels of possibly a Hashira.
Right, and you'd have to do different, they had to do different, tasks is what they were given.
Yeah.
And, but it was really cool because they got to do their swords, and this one guy, freaked out because he wanted his katana right then and there. And I was like, what is happening?
That's probably Genya.
Yes.
So, Mohawk, sort of?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's Genya. You will see more of Genya later on, but, was he the guy who broke the arm of...
Yeah.
Yeah, I promise there is a reason behind that.
Okay.
He's not a meanie poo.
Okay.
You just have to keep breeding.
Okay, that's good to know. I was like, jeez.
I love Genya, but the first impression we get of him is really intimidating and looks like he would probably catcall you out on the street.
Oh, yeah.
So...
100%.
Yeah.
He's got that weird demeanor of I could kill you, but let me just catcall you.
He's
very...
In the category of can kill you in cinnamon roll, he's looks like he can kill you, but he's a cinnamon roll.
Oh, okay.
So you just have to keep reading.
Okay.
But that's kind of further into Demon Slayer. That's reaching season 3.
Oh, okay.
So you have quite a bit to go.
All right.
But he gets better, I promise.
Okay. He's not as crazy.
No.
Got it.
No.
But yeah, it was just and because you see the characters finally fitting into where they need to and understanding things and when they get their katanas for because they're special made.
Yep.
And they're special made from it's this ore.
Yeah, it's a specific ore that's very hard to break.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has anything for specifically demons. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just a rare ore that's tougher than most.
Right.
It takes a really long time to craft.
Yes, and so they had to wait their specific, I think it was 2 weeks before they got their katanas. Mm-hmm. And they were delivering the katana and they change color depending on who's holding it. Mm-hmm. And they were really excited because they wanted this one specific character. I'm not going to say who, even though if you've watched it, you know who. They were expecting when he held his katana to turn bright red. Mm-hmm. And the guy was super excited. He was like, yes, I'm going to see a red one. And it turned black. Which I'm still learning, trying to figure it out, but it's rare.
It's rare, and I think typically it is bad luck.
Yes, because I think I remember reading that it said it's usually a demon slayer that's unsuccessful, that has a black katana. And so I was like, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you've got a lot of content to get through, but it's definitely the first couple episodes / mangas are very interesting to look back at.
That's good, yeah. And so it was just and then all of a sudden, bam, he got his katana and now he's going on all these missions and doing everything. And I'm just he's seriously? I just did this. Now you want me to go on another one? can I breathe?
No.
And right, he's like,
You're not allowed to breathe.
no. They're like, screw that. You don't need to breathe. Just keep going.
Yeah, fight
You're the
after
next
fight,
thing.
it's like, okay, you're healed, go back out.
Right.
Like you don't your time to heal was your rest.
Yes.
And then you're back out there again.
Yep. Your time to heal was at 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and now you don't get anything ever again.
The thing with the Demon Slayer corpse, like that's like what
Yo.
it's called. It's very rare to have a Hashira in general. So any like top tier swordsmen, they need all the help they can get because this is
okay.
like an entire region of demons. And I mean, pretty much the Hashira are like the only one that are constantly out, but all the lower ranks, they gotta help out as well within missions that they can do with
Right.
weaker demons.
Yeah.
So especially like weaker demons that are attacking villages and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was really cool because I wasn't expecting to meet the first demon, and you had said the name because I can.
Yeah. So the first demon, you'll learn more about his backstory in a couple seasons. His
Okay.
name is Muzan, and so
Yeah.
you can tell us a little bit about Tanjiro's like incorporation with him.
Yes. So Tanjiro, he was dead set on finding him because of the fact that this is the demon that turned his sister into a demon.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what they said, because of the fact that you have to have a specific amount of blood and like all these different things. And so through all of this, like his training and everything, that's mainly been his end goal, is to find this guy. And he can smell the demons. And
Yeah.
so he went to this specific village, and he was trying to save these girls, and he ended up, there were 3 demons, but it was really cool because he was like, it's 3 different demons, but they all smell the same.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so it's one demon split into 3. And I was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't like 3 different heads, it was like 3 actual demons. And then they would like just sink into the ground.
Yeah.
And he ended up actually like following them into the bog. I think that's what it was called. And he was like, they were like, oh, good luck, you can't breathe here and it's super hard to move. And he's like, I've trained in harder places. And I was just like,
Yeah.
you do you,
He
boo.
was standing on business, and
Yes.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Tanjiro has a very keen sense of smell. So there's a lot
Yes.
of places where you'll see him using his primary scent, which is smelling.
Yeah.
And that comes out literally throughout the entire series.
Oh, okay.
So you will keep seeing that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've met Zenitsu yet, or
I don't think so.
You haven't met any of like the 2 characters. Okay, so each of those characters that he kind of meets with, and that kind of becomes his like little.
Is it the one, the nurse, and then she's a demon, and so is her?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
Never
those are different demons. But he eventually meets 2 other people, and one of them has a really good sense of hearing, and the other I think is just mostly I don't know. He's kind of weird. I like him, but he's kind of weird.
It's funny, like weird.
I mean, he was raised in the mountains, so you can only assume like
Oh.
what kind of things are gonna come out of him. Yeah. So
Valid.
yeah, when you meet him, it'll be quite funny.
Okay.
I like him a lot. But his introduction's kind of like, whoa, this guy's kind of weird.
You're like, why is he here? Does he really belong?
Like, yeah, he has an interesting introduction, but
Alright. Well, and so then continuing, he goes to this village, but it's really crowded, and he's not used to super crowded places.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, I can't breathe. Like, this is outside of my comfort zone, essentially. And then all of a sudden, he smells a demon. And he smelled it, and he said, that's the same smell that was in my house.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's him. And so in front of all of these people, he goes crazy. And everybody's kind of like, wait, what are you doing? Because then there was another demon there, and he had taken that demon down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, he's drunk, like, he needs to be taken out. And he's like, no, I'm the only one that can hold this thing down. Like, you need to let me do this. But when... I'm going to butcher his name again, so you have to help me. Muzan. I was reading it very wrong
You're
in
good.
the book. When he saw Muzan, he's like, why does he look human? And so Muzan actually had made himself look and appear human
Yeah.
and had a family. And so he was so confused. He's like, wow, how has he not killed these people? Like, how is he just there? And I can only assume, like, my thought process during all of it was he did it because then he can hide in plain sight, essentially, and be like, oh, nobody's gonna suspect me. Now I have access to, like, all of these people and, like, souls and things. At least that's my, like, understanding of why he was doing it.
Yes.
But I don't know if that'll actually come out of why he decided to appear as human.
So Muzan is a very interesting character.
Yeah.
He's referred to as the Demon King.
Yes.
So you'll kind of learn more about him.
Okay.
But there's a reason why he appears himself to be human. That again kind of comes back with his backstory. You'll see him in more human forms.
Oh, okay.
While he's talking to some of his upper class demons.
Okay.
So you will watch more of that.
Okay.
But it's really interesting. He's a very interesting character, like unique. Like he's a unique character. And even though I don't like him in the show, I think him as a character, like he's a good villain. Like he's a great villain. I just don't like him. But character wise, he's great. Great for the show. He fits perfectly. I don't like him because. I mean, he's the bad guy. Like,
right, you can't like the bad guy. Unless you're me, then you like the Joker. Like, and you're weird.
He's got aura, and I mean, he's cool, but like...
You're the bad guy.
Yeah, like,
quit killing people.
Mean. Like, yeah, I'll celebrate. Woo! You know, like whenever you get taken out. Woo!
Right, you're like...
But I'm not gonna... Yeah.
But, well, and that's really cool, because like I said, like, that's what I like about even... mangas and animes, they give you so much room to like do that, where you can think and go, oh, why are they doing that? Like, let me think about it and let me try and process it, and then they tell you and you're like, oh, that is nothing like I thought, or you're like, I knew it. And so it's just kind of one of those really cool things, and I've noticed that with this manga particularly, that you get to see the characters progress, but you also get to try and figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
And try and be like, okay, well, why are they doing that? Like, is it because of this or this? And then you get told and you're like, oh, now it makes sense. But yeah, I think that it's just getting, the more I read, the more interesting it's getting. And I'm really excited to watch it because I'm a very colored person. Yeah. I've even thought about like watching the anime and like coloring my manga so that it like is colored.
That'd be cool.
I know. I thought I'm a color person, so I might actually do that. Just because I love that the mangas are in black and white, but at the same time, like having pops of color would be really cool. And then also in the mangas that I have, it also like in between the chapters, it had like what the original drawings were, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, because you get to kind of look and see like the process of what happened. Changed. Yeah, and it was like a very simple design for him and his sister, and it was, I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't right. After reading and seeing it in the manga, I was like, yeah, the way that they changed it was awesome. But the fact that they put those little pieces of themselves into the manga that you won't get into the show, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just that person that I'm like, I want to see like what your thought process was for things, or like how to understand it, and they kind of give you those little bit of tidbits within the manga. And so I would recommend, don't just skip over it, read it, look at it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes it even gives you information that you're like, okay, now I got it. Now that makes sense of where I'm at with this character or what's happening. And because mangas do move really fast when you're reading it. And sometimes I've discovered that when I'm reading a manga, I can't read more than one at a time because I get them confused. Usually, like, when I'm reading books, I can read, like, 5 books at the same time. But with manga, because it's so intense, so fast-paced, I stick with just one. And if anybody else wants to tell me that they're reading more than one at a time, please put it in the comments, because I want to know how you do it. Because
I typically only watch one at a time.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult for me to keep up with multiple at once.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's also, like, they're binge-worthy, in my opinion. So Yeah, it's nice to just binge an anime after like a long day, and then go to sleep, and then do it again tomorrow.
Yep, I agree. I was binge watching Death Note and then a couple of other animes over spring break just because I like to binge watch. And I was like, okay, I don't want to ruin it quite yet. Let me take a break from Death Note and watch something else. And so it's just been I really enjoy that we're doing this podcast because then we have each other that we can talk about these things. We have our wonderful viewers giving us things that we could watch or try to watch, things that you guys want us to talk about. Again, we're here for recommendations. And if you guys have awesome friends that also enjoy anime or just having discussions in general, have them subscribe to our channel here at YouTube. And then we also have an Instagram page, and that is at Written Fates. And then we have a TikTok, and that's at written.fates.
Yep.
And so go follow those two channels as well. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us out, makes us feel like people actually enjoy what we're doing and what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I've been talking a lot. Is there anything else you'd like to
No,
say?
that's pretty much the dot. I'm glad you're able to read the manga over break so we could talk about it today.
Yes.
And I mean, I didn't really watch anything over break, so I don't really have much to say, but hey, I can always converse with what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
That's the good thing about you reading anime that I've already seen. Like,
Exactly.
I can talk with you about it and stuff.
And it's always nice too because like you have different information about it because of watching it, not only reading it.
I'm trying not to spoil things for you.
I appreciate that. I kind of want spoilers, but I appreciate not getting them.
I won't give you big ones. I know sometimes I got spoilers when I first started watching Demon Slayer. I told a friend and they immediately told me stuff and I was like, all right, that's not cool.
Like, don't do that.
I don't like that you did that. I know you're excited, but I don't like that you did that.
Like, telling me about characters, that's fine, but, like, don't tell me plots.
I won't tell you backstories. I'll tell you, like, a little bit about characters, like Muzan, obviously. Right. Or, like, the two other characters that you will meet, but, yeah, I won't go too much into detail.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. But it's still nice to have somebody that, and like I said, I'm trying not to spoil everything, but I'm letting you guys know that I'm spoiling stuff, and if I end up coloring my mangas, I'll bring those in to show you guys,
because really cool.
That's something that I really like, and I enjoy, so. But I think that's all we have for this week for you guys. Thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.